Hello everybody, this is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo, and today I'm going to be making something from these really pretty beads that came from my friends over at BeeBeeCraft. So recently I did an unboxing of these beads, and these beads along with some other things that I got. And recently, a little bit further back, but not much further back, I actually got these beads from BeeBeeCraft and made some really pretty things with it, including this necklace right here that I have been wearing a lot. Right now though, let me move these out of the way. I'm going to use one of these beads, and then I'm going to use some shells. I haven't really figured out how I'm going to do this yet, but I wanted to show you something. I think these look a lot like Seaglass. And actually, when you shop around for Seaglass jewelry, a lot of the times it's not true Seaglass. It's what they call cultured Seaglass, which basically means man-made. And this is kind of what I feel this looks like, a lot like cultured Seaglass. So let me show you some real Seaglass. This is real Seaglass. And then this is real Seaglass. This is not. So it has that brushed feel to it. All right, so what are we going to make today? I think I want to incorporate seashells into my design here. I want to show you something that I did already make. I just took some wire, it's a coconut colored, and just put it through the hole, fed it up there, wrapped a bail, made a little squiggle there, and this would be something I can either make another one of these, which I'm thinking about doing, and they could be earrings, or this could make a very simple necklace. Just put it on an existing chain. Let's see if I can show you what I mean. It's like this chain I have. This is a sterling silver chain, and I could just hang it like that. Now I'm actually trying to design myself a necklace, and I may use all three of these and then maybe also a seashell. I want to have a necklace that I can wear this summer when I go on my cruise and when I'm at the beach and when I'm at the pool. Now, normally I say that you should never, ever, ever wear your jewelry like that to the beach or even into the shower. But I've been reading up on stainless steel, and I think, from what I understand, stainless steel is okay to wear in the ocean. And I'm going to try it out on my cruise. I will be spending at least 2 days at the beach, and then afterwards I'll be going to visit with my mom and my two sisters, and we'll be going to the beach quite a bit because they're in Florida. That's where I grew up, so I'm going home to visit with my family. But anyway, I'm going to try to design. I don't know if I'm going to use this shell or I could use this shell. I could use that one. I got all these shells. So I need to figure out exactly what I'm going to do. What about something like this? Maybe I can make links, hang the shell at the bottom here, and just either side I could have my chain. It's almost too nice to wear to the beach. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to basically make links, so we'll have a kind of a beaded chain. And should I use, I like the copper. I think I'll mix my metals because we have a little bit of you know, browns in here, so that'll bring out the brown. I could use silver, but I think I'm going to use the copper color. That being said, this is more coppery. I think I like this shell though. I think I really like that shell. How about this one? Ooh, maybe using that shell, because it's more of the coppery. Well, let me get these links done and then we'll figure out which shell at the end. So I'm going to need my wire cutters and my round nose pliers and my flat nose pliers, or if you have needle nose pliers or bent nose pliers, those would work. I'm going to start with the green one first, and I want, if you notice we have like a pointy end and more of a flat end, I want the pointy ends to point toward the shell, okay? Which means I'm going to put the fat end first, okay? Actually, let me think this out. Nope, I'm going to put the pointy end first. And you'll see why here in a moment. I won't even have to explain that. But I'm going to make messy wrap. I want to make this loop about in the middle of my pliers there. It needs to be a fairly good size. And just wrap it around. And then take your pliers, smoosh that down. Actually, with this first bead, it doesn't matter which way you're doing it because we're not hooking anything onto it quite yet. It will be the rest of them that you'll have to worry about. All right, we got that done. All right. I need to get me some of those. There's some pliers where you can straighten out your wire, and I have had 2 pair, and the little plastic end keeps coming off of them. All right, so I did feed the narrow end up first. I got the wider end down here, and I'm going to go ahead and start my loop. But before I start wrapping, put that on there. And start wrapping messily. And notice, I keep my wire on the spool. I don't trim it until I am done. Usually, I mean, sometimes I do. Sometimes you have to, but. And by the way, this wire I'm using came from BeeBeeCraft also. I've got a video somewhere all about it, and I've used quite a bit of it. I actually really like it a lot. Right. And so the next one is going to be this pretty bead. Aren't these all pretty? I just love them. Okay. narrow end. And I may have to adjust the loops once I get these all done to make sure the beads are hanging in the right direction. There are two different sides. This kind of has a pointy, I don't know if you can tell, it kind of comes up to a point. This is flat back here. So there are two different sides to these beads. Make sure that loop is a little bit smaller. There we go. All right, let me lay these down and make sure they're, see, facing in the same direction. Those two are. This one is not, so I'll just turn them. Oop, there we go. All right, I'm going to go do these three and I'll be back. All right, so I got these all done. Now I got to figure out which shell. I really like this one because it's bigger. I like this one because of the color. You know what? It already has a jump ring on there, so let me just look and see here. I think I might need, oh, I think I can do it. Okay. You know what? I'm going to need two jump rings. Because if I hang it, it's going to wind up hanging sideways like this. We need it to hang like this. I do plan on wiring it like I did these. Let me look. Let me see. There's that one. This is really hard. Okay, after much decision, I think I'm going to go with the bigger one. I love the color of this one, but I think it's just a little bit too small. If these beads were smaller, I think it would work. So now I need to wire that shell. And I have lots of videos where I do this, but I'll show you. Just go up through the middle there. Clip off, I don't know, that much. Twist the wire. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a really neat twist. Sometimes my twists come out really neat and sometimes not so neat. Sometimes it starts out really neat and winds up not so neat. But it doesn't really matter because in the end, when you finish it off, you're not going to be able to tell how neat or messy it was. Besides, this is a boho piece, and boho is not perfection. All right, so I've got this all done, and I want a pretty big loop down here. I also need to remember to put these on there before I go wrapping. So I'm going to start about right here so I have all that room to wrap. I'm going to come down. Go ahead and feed these on. It's going to need to be done this way. And you'll see why here in a minute. Now you could use a jump ring if you wanted to, but I don't want to use any jump rings because that'll just make it it'll make the necklace longer, and I don't want this necklace really long. I want it more of a choker style. All right, let's see. I think I'm going to have to put this on this side. Let me get them both on here. And I can do all the adjustments and stuff before I start wrapping. So basically, okay, we're going to have this. Let me go ahead and wrap this, and then we'll mess with adjusting all the beads. And this is actually more of a design with me video. I didn't have any idea of what I was going to do before I started. So, all right. And there we go. Okay, that turned out like I like it. So now the next thing, and this is when I'm going to need some jump rings. I want to attach the chain here, but I need to do some measuring and make sure where I want this. Like I said, I don't want this to be 18 inch. It's going to be too long on me for that. I probably want it to be a 16 inch, but I want to make sure about that. I will check all the measurements and stuff, and I'll be back. All right, all I have to do is finish putting on the clasp, but let me show you what I did here. So I got out the trusty ruler and measured this from here to here, and I decided I want this to be a 17-inch necklace. So I measured my clasp and jump ring. I need a jump ring for one side of the clasp, and then I'm going to use a jump ring to put the other clasp, or to put the lobster on. I have a jump ring to attach one side of the beads, and then a jump ring on the other side. So after you take into consideration all those, which this came to a 1/2 inch, jump ring, 4 jump rings and a lobster claw clasp came to a 1/2 inch. So when I measured this out, I wanted, I originally said 16, but I want 17-inch necklace. It turned out that I needed to measure, so it's a total of 16 and a half, okay? And I'm really not going to get into what my measurements are, because your loops may be different than my loops, which could throw off the measurements a little bit. So just measure, use your ruler and measure. So I attached one side of the chain with the jump ring, and then I went and did the other side, and then I determined the middle by evening these out here and then holding it up, and there was a little one link that was hanging down. So I have some granddaughters singing in the background. I'm not sure if you hear that or not, but Anyway, so once I determined where the middle was, I used my wire cutters. If you have stainless steel chain, you need to use wire cutters to cut those, because stainless steel is pretty tough and you could ruin your nice wire cutters. So you don't want to use those. You want to use the memory wire. All right. So I've got those clipped. So now I'm just going to open this up. Now they're knocking on the door. I guess it's time for Grandma to go play. Let me get this done real quick, and then I am going to go play with my granddaughters. Close this up. All right. Okay, got that. Oh, I forgot to hang this. A little distracted here. Okay, here we go. I'll have to go back and make sure these are all closed up. I think they are. But anyway, we got it all done. Here is my beach necklace. And I will follow up and let you know how this held up. If it deteriorated or whatever. But I am going to wear this to the beach, to the pool. I'm going to wear the death out of it. Hopefully not the death out of it. But anyway, that is my beach necklace. Tell me what you think of it. Would you have chosen this other shell over this one? I'm kind of curious what your thoughts are on that. And thanks for joining me. Y'all have a great day. This is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo signing out for now. Bye-bye.